Greetings everyone. Today we're at Six Flags Darien Lake in western New York. This is our first stop on our quest to visit every Six Flags park in the US. We're going to check out everything from the rides to the games to gift shops, and also since it is Halloween season, we're going to check out Fright Fest tonight. We are joined up ahead by my good friend Greg in the orange and Jenny. So let's head inside and check it out. This here is Viper. It's the park's Arrow corkscrew coaster. It's got a few elements other than the corkscrew, like this vertical loop and Batwing. As with many Arrow coasters, this one is a bit rough, but certainly not the worst out there, and overall I enjoyed the ride. This here is Moto Coaster. It's a zippy little family coaster. It's pretty cool because you sit like you're riding a motorcycle side by side with your friend, which we'll probably see when these folks come by in a minute. There's definitely some good pops of airtime as you transition over the different corners. Tight corners, I should mention. A lot of tight corners on this one. And that's it. That's the whole ride for you. Coming nice and hot in these brakes. Sounds just like it feels. Corn Popper is an old Huss swing around ride. I'm going to slow it down here for you so you can really see it in action. This is a fairly unique ride these days, as I don't think they're building any new ones. And I'd say it's pretty fun. It has a similar sensation to a flying scooters ride. They have a little corn trail going on for presumably the Halloween season. We're going to go through and check this out. So we realize the corn trail here is just the cue to their Shoot the Chute ride, covered in corn stalks. Yep, here we have it, right through the corn. We get our Shoot the Chute boats and track. This here is Ride of Steel, the park's tallest, fastest, longest coaster, and probably a favorite for most. It stands a little over 200 feet tall, and that's that drop right there. It goes straight into a hard left corner. Definitely still packs a punch considering it was Intamin's first hyper coaster. Hyper meaning at least 200 feet tall. And I also love how at the end here it has these little bunny hops. Kind of reminds me of Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you try to pack a little bit extra into the end of the ride. So overall, definitely a great ride. Highly recommend. And if there's one ride you don't want to miss here, it's this one.
Alright everybody, here we are at Boomerang, Six Flags Darien Lake. Our main man Steve's right in the front row, getting pulled up backwards up the lift hill right now. He's going to be shooting through the station here in just a second. The drop. Alright, they're getting pulled up. They're going to go through that whole thing backwards now. Here comes Steve to tell you about how that ride was.
Yep, here's Steve telling you how the ride was. Thanks for filling in, by the way, Greg. Now at first, I got to admit, I thought this was going to be the smoothest boomerang ride I've ever been on. That was going forward. Then we went backwards, and it felt just as rough as every other boomerang. This here is Predator, the park's only wooden roller coaster. And it's a little bit bumpy, a little bouncy if I'm going to be honest. And there's no doubt Six Flags is aware of that though, because if we turn over to the right here, we'll see some steel track. That just kind of shows that they have been at least testing out this track here. And this steel track here is Titan Track by the company GCI. That's a way to kind of hopefully eliminate some of the roughness. And I will say this is the one smooth part of the ride, so we'll see what happens in the future if they retrack the rest of this wood area with that steel track to smooth it out, because I think it would be a great ride if it was a bit smoother. This here is Silver Bullet. It's a classic Enterprise style ride. Spins you and brings you up on a big arm. Bear Valley Bumper Buggies Road Rage. It's the park's bumper cars. How fast do these bumper cars go, Greg?
Oh, probably not over 100 miles per hour.
That's right. One thing about coming up here this time of year is quite a few rides are closed. That Eurofighter, that vertical lift coaster in front of us, is known as Tantrum. And then behind that we have Mind Eraser, known for causing lots of headaches. Both of those are closed today, allegedly due to school being open and staffing. Another closed ride today is Rolling Thunder, a Larson Looper. You just go around and around in circles. But we won't be doing that today. I stand corrected. The Larson Looper is now running. Open for the night festivities. One interesting thing about Darien Lake is it seems they're a Pepsi park when most Six Flags are Coke. As you can see, my unlimited drinks bottle is Coke. Darien Lake does have a campground associated with it, which you can see right from the edge of the park here. In this area of the park, we have the large swing ride, the Sky Screamer. One thing that's pretty cool about this Sky Screamer, where it's not quite as tall as some of the others, is that you actually go about halfway down and back up after you hit the top. This also seems to be the section of the park that used to house fun activities next to the campground, like these batting cages, which certainly haven't been used in a century. You can even see the campers back there. We also have an Antiques Auto ride over here that we'll check out in just a minute. Here we have the Tower of Terror, or better known as the Grim Lizzie's, which is the Halloween version of the Antique Auto ride. For just $10 more, you can also get 5 minutes on their go-kart track, but not today, because it's another thing that is closed. The pirate ship here swings right over the water. It's very thematic. Blast off is the park's S&S tower. This is the park's boardwalk area. It's home to some food, classic carousel, a little bit of boat theming, some rides, a bar back there, the Anchor Bar. Also the Red Hawk, which is one of those upcharge giant swing rides. And of course, a beautiful view of the water over here. Here they go. Right into the sun, excellent. Here we have the park's Grand Carousel. How grand it is. Now this is pretty cool. So it seems at night they run the carousel in reverse for Halloween. Spooky. A couple more standard rides we have are the Lasso, which is a wave swinger swing ride. We had a classic scrambler over here as well. The scrambler here is actually one of the better scramblers I've been on. It gets up to speed real fast and has a pretty quick going cycle, so I highly recommend. Gets a thumbs up from me. Greg, Jenny, scrambler reviews?
Hey, I feel scrambled, so that's a good thumbs up.
5 years.
Haymaker's an old paratrooper ride. Good old-fashioned fun for the whole family. These carriers are also nice and comfy. Let's talk some food, shall we? We had lunch at the Anchor Bar. We each got some sort of chicken, some bone-in, some boneless, and overall it was okay. Certainly edible. And with bar in the name, you know they must have draft beer. And that they had. They had Bud Light, as well as Maple Sunshine, which was a maple wheat ale. And that's it. That's all they had for beer. Oh yeah, Dippin' Dots. Of course, no theme park trip is complete without fried dough. We're walking with our walking tacos from the Three Brothers Tacos. Here we go, here we walk.
Tres Hombres.
Tres Hombres. Tres Hombres Tacos. Thank you, Greg. Dinner at the boardwalk. And I got the, hot dog basket with chili. We got chicken tenders and fries, how original. We got the Walking Dead nachos.
That's got to be licensed.
Which, what is in those?
chili, cheese.
Chili and cheese, and then the double bacon cheeseburger. Excellent. My favorite piece of theming for Fright Fest is right up here. These trash bags covering these lights. Can't wait to see those babies at night. If you're a fan of gift shops, the Emporium's probably the place to hit. They have all sorts of items in here, from pass holder items to sweatshirts, t-shirts, shot glasses, and of course, since it's spooky season, they've got their Fright Fest apparel as well. You can even stuff your own park pet, or buy a pre-stuffed animal. Adorable. Surprisingly, this is also the only spot I've seen any DC anything. We also had to check out the Darien Lake Trading Co. because they have dream catchers, as well as some spooky shirts and dragons. The park does have some typical Midway games and arcades, but most importantly, they have this old game called Fascination. And essentially it's kind of like where you're trying to get 5 in a row. It's a ton of fun. Try it out. While the water park certainly isn't open, it's good to note that they do have Hurricane Harbor here if you're looking for something to do in the summer, a way to cool off, and it's included with admission, so that's pretty cool. I don't know exactly what the parents' patio is. It isn't open, but definitely sounds like a place to get a drink and leave your kids to wander the park. So, parents, this is your spot. Alright, let's check out what Fright Fest has to offer. Fright Fest starts out with the Awakening, which is basically what you're seeing here. I've been recording for a bit, and this is all the action. So you can probably, definitely, skip this part and go ride a ride instead. 2 of the 3 haunts are by the roller coaster Viper. The first haunt we checked out was Jungle Apocalypse. It kind of gave me Raiders of the Lost Ark vibes. Overall, it was pretty good, had some good elements and a couple of jump scares that got me. Next up, we checked out Corridors of Chaos, a zombie apocalypse warehouse, I don't know, some sort of theme. This one was pretty dead inside, not in the fun, pun intended way. Overall, I would say this one was not good. Last up, we have Jack Pallett's Scarecrow Row, home to, you guessed it, scarecrows and cornstalks. This one started pretty good with a couple of actors, but then we saw no one basically the whole rest of the way through, so the highlight was the alligator in the corner. Overall, I would call this one okay. After going through the 3 haunts now, I gotta say the Jungle Apocalypse is probably the only one you really need to hit. Then I would check out the Scarecrow Row, and if for some reason you run out of time, you definitely can skip that. Corridors of Chaos. The haunts were probably hurt most by the lack of staffing, as we were lucky to see more than 3 or 4 actors in each haunt. There she is, all lit up. The lamp. The trash bag lamp. 10 out of 10. Alright, and that'll about wrap up our time here at Darien Lake. One of the wise decisions we made definitely was getting here at Park Open, which was at noon, because pretty much everything was a walk-on all day up until about 5 p.m. when the haunt crowd started coming in, and things got pretty busy. The haunts overall were okay, you know, they kind of ranged. The rides were a good lineup. I would say if you happen to be in the area, it's worth stopping by, but this definitely isn't one of those Six Flags parks that you're going to be, you know, driving cross country for. So overall, a good day. It's a little bit unfortunate that there were quite a few attractions closed for the season, but they did mention that on the website, so it was no surprise. And again, the lighter crowds earlier probably made up for that. All right, well, thank you for watching Up From Down Here, and we'll catch you around. Bonus footage time, because we got rear-ended while trying to leave. So now we get to watch Ride of Steel from the lesser seen angle, the street. While we're here though, I just want to note this is my first on-location theme park review video. So if you do have any comments, feedback, please let me know. Let me know what you want to see more of, less of, and really anything. Again, thanks so much for watching.